Hey there guys! So today I'm going to show you how to install fonts into Cricut Design Space. And not only am I going to show you how to install them, but I'm also going to show you how to keep them organized. Fonts are obviously something that we use a lot as crafters, and it's very easy to forget certain styles of fonts and what names they are, so you can search for them when you're in Design Space or any other graphic program. So I found a cool little trick on how to keep them organized. So first things first, I'm going to show you how to install a font, and then I'm going to show you how to organize the fonts so that you can remember their names and find them a little bit more easily. So one of the places I love to shop for fonts is fontbundles.net, and I recently purchased this crafter's favorite font bundle, and it has like 26 I think fonts in it, and they're kind of like geared towards craft projects and things like that that you would use them for. So I'm in the process of installing those onto my computer. So the way you would get these on your computer first, of course, is to download right here. You would click on the name of the file, and then it would download for you. And my computer always asks me where I want to store the file. So I have a folder that I've created here that is just for my fonts, and I would just hit save, and it would start downloading. Okay, and a lot of us would normally just double click this download and then open like this and go from there, but I don't want you to do that, because sometimes if you go this route, it will not register in your computer system and appear in Design Space. There are sometimes it does happen, because there is a reason you have to install it for all users. And don't ask me why it is that way, but I'm going to show you how to get around it. You go to your File Explorer, and you need to go to where you stored that download. So in my case, I stored it in this fonts folder here. I downloaded it and I put it right here in this fonts folder. And right here is the zip file. You see, if I hover over that, it says compressed zip file. It will pretty much always be a compressed zip. You'll want to right click on that, and then you'll want to extract it. So hit extract all. It's going to ask you where you want to extract the files. It's usually going to be the default location of where it currently is stored. So I just hit extract. And then you should get a pop-up here with the extracted file. So if I go back here, you can see now it's no longer a zip file, it's a folder. And when I click on it, it's not zipped anymore, it's just organized by folders. So I'm going to go in here, and here's a bunch of fonts organized by folder, and then the top folder here says all. There's multiple fonts in this one, so I'm going to click on that, and here are all my font files right here that I need to install. So for example, I'm going to go to this diamond stacked solid. This one I have not yet installed, and when you right click on it, you will see the option to install for all users right here. Now, this is the reason why we went the route of extracting and not just opening the download from our browser on Chrome or Firefox, whatever you use. It's because if you were to go that route, this option, install for all users, wouldn't be present. It would just say install. And we need to install for all users so that that ensures that Design Space picks up on our new font. So I'm going to hit install for all users. It's going to take a second to just install it, and you're good to go. I would of course repeat that for any and all fonts I want to add to my computer, and you would just repeat all those steps to add any font. Okay, so I'm going to minimize those now. I have that font installed. If you have Design Space already opened, you're going to need to close it out, and you're going to need to reopen it in order to get the new font to register as being there. So I'm going to open up a new tab here, and I'm going to go to Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to open a new project, and then I'm going to select text. And let's just see, let's just type out crafty, okay? And then I'm going to go up to my fonts in the font edit bar, and I'm going to, you have system fonts, you have Cricut fonts, you have all. I usually just leave it on all, and then you can search for the one that we just downloaded. So here's the one I just downloaded, Diamond Stacked Solid Bold. So I downloaded that, and there we've changed our font, and it is now the font that we downloaded, and it's in Design Space. Now, easy peasy, go ahead and do your project from here, right? Well, if you start to collect a bunch of fonts, how in the world can we keep them organized when you're downloading them into your computer? Maybe it's from free sites or from font bundles, anywhere. You need to be able to keep them organized. So how do we do that? Well, there's not an exact science to it, but I have found a nifty little app called Nexus Font. I believe that's the name of it. Let me double check here. Yeah, Nexus Font. I'm going to open this up. It's just a desktop app that you can install on your computer, and you can get it at, I think it's nexusfont.com. Let me double check that for you real quick because I want to make sure. It's just a font manager is all it really is. So Nexus Font. I'll link this for you. It's nexusfont.en.sophonic.com, and you'll be able to download it here, okay? And once it's downloaded, you'll just follow the prompts to install it into your computer. It's pretty standard if you've ever downloaded anything before. And this is just a font manager to allow you to keep folders for your fonts. So for example here, I have collected a folder of script-like fonts, fonts that come with specialty characters, fonts that are more like print fonts, then I call them fun prints, and then holiday-related fonts, and then also anything that's more a themed file or a Disney-style font, something I might use for like character-related things or a theme. I have a folder for that. So while it's not a perfect system, it lets you put them into categories to where if you're working on a project and you think, okay, I really want to use a Christmas font, I don't remember all the Christmas fonts I have, you can go to your holidays folder or whatever you want to call it, and you will be able to remember all of the Christmas fonts that you have. So here's what I have in mind. I just started organizing this a couple days ago, so I don't have all my fonts in here yet, but I have my fonts for Christmas organized in this folder. So instead of sifting through hundreds of fonts trying to remember the names as you scroll through, I can just sift through the ones that I've organized as holiday. So how do we get our folder set up like this, okay? So first off, when you open the app, it'll look like this. You'll have a box that looks similar to this, and you'll have something here that says installed right here on the under library on the left hand side. It'll say installed. These are all the installed fonts on your computer. I have 451. Now this includes a lot of system fonts that were pre-installed for me, things that I'm not going to use, standard things like, you know, Times New Roman or New Roman Times, whatever that's called, and all those traditional fonts that we really don't ever use. They're just installed on the computer. So this is also where any of your custom fonts that you install, like we just did when we installed this stacked diamond font, this is also where you would find them, but you can search for them right here. So what I do is once I've downloaded like a set of fonts, I go ahead and go through and just organize them real quick so I don't forget. So I remember that this one was a diamond font, and when I start typing in diamond, there it is, it appears, and you can just click on this little check mark right there, just click on that, and then you can right click over the font, and you can do add to set. Now I already have my sets ready to go here, so I'm just going to put this under, I'm just going to put it under fun prints, and now it's been added to fun prints. So when I go to look for anything that I want a print like font, this is where I would find it. Now to create a new set, you would come over here to the sets on the left hand side, you would right click, and you would hit add set. Then the little box will pop up. You can name the set whatever you want, and maybe you can name it like fun fonts, things that are a little more fun. Maybe this could be a new category. And then it'll appear over here, and then you can right click on any font, add to set. It's now there, fun fonts. And there you go. And you can add these to more than one. So if, for example, I want this to be in fun fonts and in fun prints, then I can have them in both. And then that way, whether I'm looking at either, they both come up and you can sort of cross-reference your fonts that way. So let's say I'm in Design Space and I'm getting ready to type something out. Let's say I'm working on like maybe something for a mermaid birthday party theme. And I know that I've installed a font that kind of has a mermaid vibe to it, a theme to it that I want to use, but I can't remember the name of that font. So traditionally we would go over here to the fonts and we would just start scrolling either under all or under system, and we'd be here a long time trying to sort this out. We might try and type the name in, but we don't get it right and it doesn't come up because we can't remember the name of it, right? So to help yourself stay organized, if you've created these sets and these files, you can just open up Nexus Font, and I would know that this would be under Themes. So I would click on my themes and, oh, there it is. There's my Mermaid Tails. That was the name of it, KL Mermaid Tails. Now I remember the name of it, and I can come right over here and I can type in KLM, because it's KL Mermaid Tails, and there we go. There are the three that I have for that font that are installed, and I was able to find it really quick because it was organized in this nice little handy app right here, and I don't have to feel like I have to remember all the names. So just a quick little tip I wanted to share with you guys about how to organize your fonts, and for those of you who weren't familiar on how to install your own fonts, hopefully that gave you an idea of how easy that is. Places to find fonts. Font Bundles is a great place. Creative Market is a great place. You can find free fonts on dafonts.com. I have a post on my blog that will give you a bunch of the best free and paid fonts. So if you need a place to start with some resources of where to find, go ahead and go to my blog, abbykirstencollections.com, and you will find a list of the best free fonts for Cricut. You can just search that in the search bar or even in Google and it will come up, or you can just click on Cricut and filter back from there and just click through the pages until you find it. So I hope this was a helpful video to you guys today, and I will see you all next time.